Hello everyone, Chad from Knotted Leathers. So I got this cool little notebook project. I have to say, I was gonna do some Sheridan work on it. I changed my mind. I wanted to make it look like it was actually growing out of the earth, or maybe a couple of rocks, kind of just started growing out of there. It didn't get too elaborate on how it was growing up and out. I spent a little bit more time on building those flowers and the petals. I did put 3 flowers. I couldn't tell you the name of the flower. I like vegetation and all, but I don't memorize it. So I drew these and was like, okay, well, I need to put a little bit here and I need to put a little bit there so they're evened out on the project space. So yeah, you can see right here where I drew my circle to start doing that Sheridan style. It changed my mind and I just kind of said, you know what, let's see if we can't bring the bottom into this a little bit better. I really do like the curvature of Sheridan style tooling, but I figured that in this instance it would be nice to see some flowers without it. So that's my laminate paper. That's what I kind of use. It really helps keep it the same size. So this piece right here that you're looking at, it's really the top piece. Now I chose some lighter weight leather, some 4 to 5 ounce. It's really not ideal to try and get some really good depth in your tooling. But for this instance, because it's a notebook, I wanted to go with something light. And so long as I was really careful with it, I shouldn't pop through, I shouldn't cut through the leather. So I did get my depth on it, and when I'm tooling it, and you'll see me pick it up and look at it and kind of roll it in my hands, that's where I find a little portion of it that I kind of just pushed just a little bit too hard, and I started breaking through that leather. Now, that's not such a big deal because I was on the tail end of the tooling and I really didn't need to worry about it. And also, I'm going to lay it on top of the main piece and I'm going to stitch it down. So the tool piece itself is kind of just that. It's just the tool piece. It's going to overlay on top and then I'm going to stitch it down. With that being said, I didn't back this piece of leather with any type of tape, packing tape or blue tape. I wanted to see if I could get one that the stretch and kind of get a natural flow of having the leather pull back slightly as it tries to heal for the flower petals, I should say. And it worked. I did get a little bit of stretch in the leather on the outside where the leather is being formed into the leather petals, and so it really created a good look for me. But generally 9 times out of 10 you're going to want to with something so that it doesn't stretch and it doesn't deform your project. With this, it's an overlay. It's just something that I wanted to truly try, and it really came out, really looked good, and it worked out for me. If it wouldn't have, I would have thrown it away and started anew, which is why you have your pieces of vellum, or in my case, the sides of laminate paper, and you keep those so that you can put it back on something, draw it out. I might decide to do this flower type out of something heavier. Got some sides to do some saddle repair with, and I might cut some chunks and retool a piece of it so I can have a knockout pattern where I can just put it up on top of that piece of cased leather. and tap out the design and then go right to cutting. Can see right here, because I was getting ready to talk about it, I grabbed my my molding tool, and I kind of just bring those flowers, those centers of the flowers, that they generally are lower, and the petal kind of comes up and goes around and then down and smooths out into a nice smooth petal. So I grabbed it out so that I can could not mess up the actual design that I had created by using too heavy of a tool, as well as possibly ruining the project by popping all the way through it. And then once I got done using the spoon area, I flipped over onto the other side, and I kind of scratched up in the direction that I would think that those flowers were going, to kind of give it a little bit more of a lively effect. I want to say that I picked this up from watching a YouTube. Maybe Don Gonzalez has got some. I watch Don Gonzalez do tooling all the time. I like his tooling work. So I might have picked up doing that from him. I'm just not sure. I went ahead and finished that. I was like, all right, well, I need a pocket. And I looked down and I had a piece of scrap that I had cut that inside portion of, and it had that natural curvature. And that's what I'm kind of going for in the looks of how the flower went. So I was like, you know what? I think that would be a good little addition. So I cut off the pocket to match the form of how the hide actually was. Now, whether or not it was a natural curve, or if it was stretched out that way, or if it hung and it dried with that curvature, I couldn't tell you. But that's how it was, and I cut it along it because it made it look really nice. And decided to use that as the portion for the pocket. It's got those fibers and they kind of just pull it right down into the leather. So what you want to do is like you saw me do, which is take and put a thin layer down on top, let it soak in, let it dry all the way, and then take another thin to a medium layer and spread that over the top, and then let that dry to a tacky stage. And that creates a really good bond with the leather and the other piece when you put it on together, and it kind of sucks it down in there. I'm not a glue connoisseur. I simply use what I think works the best for me. You'll have to decide that. Well, I used Barge for a long time, but right now I'm just using the actual container and the brush inside of it. I use regular contact cement that I pick up at the hardware store, or Masters. Both of them are really good. I find that Masters doesn't smell as much as the contact cement that I get from the hardware store does, but a little bit of ventilation and you're good to go. The project is all complete now, and you kind of watch me do it and rambling on and listen to me in between. If there's enough time after I get done editing all this to make it fit, I might throw in some music. 16 minutes is a long time, or 15 minutes is a long time to listen to somebody ramble on. So if you just jump to the end, well, happy to see you here. I hope you enjoyed the look of it, and if you're watching to figure out how it's made or how I make it, then bam, you watched it all the way through, and hopefully you'll grab some leather tools and you'll give it a shot. Anyway, You guys have a wonderful day. Thanks for watching. Take care.